I've been a Muslim for 5 years now, praying at least 5 times a day, but only recently have I found out about a trick that allows me to maintain the focus, the khushu, the concentration, the humiliation throughout the full prayer. I've heard a bunch of advice before when it comes to having khushu in your prayer, but this is completely different. It's super simple to apply. It's a complete game changer and you will have immediate impact on your prayer. The moment you watch this video, right after, your prayers are going to increase as long as you actually implement the super simple trick that I'm going to explain to you right now. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Nuh and I help Muslims reach their full potential. Scroll down and subscribe if you want to improve your deen. There are a bunch of things that might actually take away from your khushu in your prayer. You can play too many games, you might be scrolling too much on social media, watch too much Netflix and enjoy these shows too much. Maybe you are not grateful for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe you have zero preparation for your prayer, mentally, physically. It's also very possible you simply might be forgetting the stakes at hand when you're praying. It's a difference between Jannah or Jahannam. And that's a huge difference. But today we're not here to speak about all of those small little things that might actually be pretty big, but we're not here to speak about that. That's general stuff. We're here to speak about one specific tip, one specific rule, something I like to call the 1 second rule. It only takes you 1 second. 1 second to improve your prayer drastically. And there are 2 levels to this rule. The first level is that you take just 1 second of pause after every action you do in your prayer. So, when you normally do your prayer, you say Allahu Akbar, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Instead, you say Allahu Akbar, 1 second, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and then you start reciting. Then in the next one, when you're gonna go for ruku', Allahu Akbar, wait 1 second, Subhan Rabbiyal Azim, and then you start reciting. When you come back up, Sami Allahu liman hamidah, Rabbana wa lakal hamd. 1 second. Go down. When you're at the ground in sujood, 1 second. Subhan Rabbiyal Ala. You get up. 1 second. Rabbi ighfirli. Why am I saying this 1 second? Maybe a bunch of people already clicked off this video, because every time you take 1 second, it is a refresh, it is a reset, it is a reminder for you to get back into the prayer, to focus back on your prayer, on the things that you're actually saying, because it's super easy for us to be unmindful, mindless in the middle of our prayer. So then we get distracted, we get a bunch of random thoughts. Every time we take this second, it is a reminder, it's a reset to get back into the prayer, to have back khushu onto your prayer. And you do it after every main action. So every time you get straight back into the prayer, because it's easy to lose focus. But with this simple rule, it's also easy to get straight back into the prayer and regain that focus. That is the first level. But if you only do this one, your prayers are already drastically going to improve. But if you want to get a lot better, then you get into the second level. Let me explain. Instead of saying Allahu Akbar, 1 second, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, you say Allahu Akbar, 1 second, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. Yeah, you get the point. After every sentence / ayah, because depending on sentences and how big ayahs are and things like that, you take a second, half a second break. Breathe in a little bit, take a pause, think about what you're saying, get back into the prayer, have khushu, be mindful. That's why you take that second. So if you now take a second after every main action, every time you're moving, and you take a second after every sentence that you're saying, same when it comes to if you're in ruku'. It's not Subhan Rabbiyal Azim, Subhan Rabbiyal Azim, Subhan Rabbiyal Azim. No, it is Subhan Rabbiyal Azim, Subhan Rabbiyal Azim, Subhan Rabbiyal Azim. You take that little second, but that little second is going to do so much because you'll be able to concentrate again. You'll be able to focus on what you're actually saying, thinking about the meaning, and it's going to boost your prayer. The important thing is that you can't rush your prayer. Because listen to the advice that Muhammad ﷺ gave to a man who was actually rushing and was being hasty with his prayer. When the Prophet, blessings and peace of Allah be upon him, saw a man who did not pray in a calm and unhurried manner, rather he pecked his way through the prayer, he instructed that man to repeat his prayer and said, "Pray, for you have not prayed." Praying in a calm and unhurried manner is one of the most important aspects of khushu. Listening to this, you should realize that if you go into your prayer and you just rush it, Allahu Akbar, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, you are not praying. Like Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, pray for you have not prayed. Those prayers, they will not be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you just rush through it, it's not going to be accepted. Take your time. Apply the rule that I have explained to you. Take a second every time, just a little pause. A little reminder to get back in there with full khushu, with full concentration, and inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to accept every single prayer that you're ever going to do from this day on. Ameen. Jazakallah khair for watching this video all the way until the end. If you want to see a video because you have problems with your dopamine, I will link that video right here. And that's it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and peace.